Tonight's show, we're talking about fake gurus and spiritual Karens. And I'm answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
He said it was like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You like to summon your end table that you this too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that make
always
sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine. Somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come out here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everyone. Welcome to the Cruisyverse. How y'all's night doing? I don't know if that's even a proper sentence. How y'all's night doing? So it's been a very interesting, I feel like for months now, I've been saying it's been a heavy week. It's been a heavy week. It's been a heavy week. So we've had some extreme seasons back to back. And this Virgo season, I'm sure, has been very hectic for a lot of you guys. So we'll get into that in a moment. Let's see who's in the room and chatting away. Jennifer Cruz, my maker. Hello and welcome. Laura Macelas. Hello. Nina, a wonderful mod. Nina is in the room. She will help you kind of navigate if you want to get a question in tonight. She'll help you navigate how to do so. And my models will just put up the overlays now. As you can see here, $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, $40 for a live video with me if you want here as well. The Venmo and PayPal links are in the description, so please follow directions there. And again, Nina will help you and guide you if you have any questions with that. Lauren, as we said, welcome. Ali Taylor, good to see you. A Blondie7, good to see you. Risty Razi, Gabriella Tinkoff, hello. Lisa Cruz, my sister. What's going on, my sister? Bozena Maristic, I hope I said that right. Welcome. Daryl Blankenship, brother, good to see you. It's been a couple weeks though, has it? I don't know. But I feel like it's been a while. Iggy, can't you see? And what does Iggy have to say today? I've got some extra cat and dog on the grill. Anyone? What is that, Iggy? What's going on that grill? What's on that Barbie? Tommy Garassi, happy Thursday to you. Sydney Aaron, love the cartwheels. Alicia Russell, hello. Michelle Bell from Toronto-ish, always good to see you. Rhonda, hello. Shelton Skelton. Ooh, Shelton Skelton. Like that name too. Dream Juggler and Kate Yo. Patty Snow, my lovely. Good to see you. Amy, good to see you as well. Kate, hello. Good to see you. Lauren Masalas, I think I've said you before, but I'm just going down the chat here. Anthony Mino, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Crazy for Coconuts. Christy, and all of you who are watching, I can't see because I can only see who's chatting in the chat section. So those of you who are new, I always start with a collective read, basically for the week ahead, and I will utilize tarot to do so. I'm not a tarot reader because I am a psychic medium. I can just pull it out of my asshole. Just kidding. Not really. And so, but I use cards for times like this to kind of guide me with the collective purposes and all that great stuff, especially for random card pulls too. And then I'll get into the topic. Today's topic is fake gurus and spiritual Karens. So a lot of people out there kind of, just doing and talking to talk and, making face claims and false statements just for a buck. And a lot of those who are maybe new to spirituality becoming the new spiritual Karens. We'll get into that, how to deal with them. And maybe we'll even take a couple looks at what's going on YouTube at some of these channels and kind of look at some of these titles here and see what's going on. And then we'll open up for the live reading. So get your questions in now because it's first come, first serve, and I will close it down at a certain portion of this live. We won't be able to get it in any longer. So make sure you get it in all now. All right. Erica Emity, good to see you. Hey, hey, hey. Erica Emity, and she loves her Fibonacci sequences. Don't you, Emity? The Fibonacci sequence. Okay, let's shuffle these cards and see what's going on for the week. I already have a kind of a theme as well that I was kind of feeling like right before the live was coming on. And so, yeah. Oh, hey, Melissa. Good to see you, and I hope you have a good day, too. Hope you're going to stick around a little bit, or maybe you'll catch the live later, but good to see you. Thank you for the well wishes. Well wishes back to you, my love. All right. Let's see. And these collective reads I like to do week to week. You know what I mean? Because we're here every week, so it'd be stupid to do monthly reads. So, two-tooth Tootsie sequence. That is very true. And was it High Thigh Heidi, Emily, Erica? What was the other, her friends? And I made up a couple other ones too that I forget. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Okay. And let me pull some oracles. I'm gonna get this going here. Well, this is going her. There's one part of the live show that I wish that I can speed through, but it's live. This is what you get. You have to hear the shuffling. And my nose is itching again. So sometimes I start these lives, my nose start itching. So I don't know what that means. If you guys know any superstition, sometimes I could be a little stupidstitious. Okay, awesome. Okay. This week, primarily, and the last couple of weeks, we were talking about getting out of the box and looking at circumstances that you're in that keep you in the box, removing them so you can get outside the box and look beyond. Today's message is about confrontation. And so a lot of times we are looking at situations in our lives and we're not like allowing ourselves to confront the elephant in the room. And so now is a time where that elephant in the room is going to start taking turds in your living room. Because if you're not cleaning that elephant out, you're not addressing that elephant in the room, it's going to start to stink. And so instead of walking into an elephant turd in the room, you might want to just address the elephant and get it out of the room. Because what's going to happen during this time, especially within the next week and up to the eclipse, is that a lot of these things are going to be made very, very obvious for you, and they're going to be roadblocks. And a lot of you guys, especially this week, there's been a lot of illnesses happening this week as well. I've been seeing a lot of people coming out with sicknesses, illnesses. A lot of people have been, in the hospital. I've heard this week as well. I had a sinus infection, the weekend prior, and so I was kind of dealing with that. So this really kind of signifies to me, really kind of confronting the areas in your life that's causing these, illnesses or causing these deprivations or causing these blockages or contempt of self. So for example, for me, when I understand I'm getting sinus infections, I'm not allowing myself to breathe or clear the air in a sense for myself. I'm allowing other people's energy to congest my air, therefore suffocating me, because the work that I do, I care so much about what people and helping people and how people feel. And there hasn't been much time to where I can actually allow myself just to focus with me and not with anybody else. And so when these sinus infections arise for me, it's time for me to say, I need to take a break. I need to take a vacation, have some downtime. So every time when you guys have these specific ailments and specific illnesses that are arising, and now you're being faced to confront it this week into next week, look at what they signify. And I always say every ailment it signifies any type of an emotional or energetic imbalance. Like for example, me, the breathing. Literally, I need to breathe more for myself and stop suffocating myself. Other ailments require the same type of reflection. If you're having any type of respiratory issues and breathing, same thing. If you're having throat issues, you're not using your voice enough, you're holding back, swallowing issues, anxiety, you're clenching. And so look at these areas and start confronting what's actually the cause of a lot of these conditional manifestations that are out of alignment. And so it is a time for transformation because, I've been saying to a lot of people and a lot of clients this week is the breakdown or breakthrough moment. And, even though when you're doing the breakdown process and you feel fragmented, pain does generate in fragmentation too. But you don't need to be focusing so much on getting rid of the pain because you just only amplify the pain. What you need to be doing is kind of nurturing the pain and allowing yourself to go through the process so you can understand what needs to be confronted, because it's the things that you need to confront that will nurture the pain and allow you to get out of the box per se and look forward and beyond and create more movement for yourself and create that transformation, right? But if you're just so focused, I'm in pain, I hurt, I'm in pain, I hurt, I'm in pain, I hurt, you're going to keep it being in pain and hurting because you're not doing anything to nurture it other than just calling it out. Like somehow we think by calling something out that changes it. I hurt. It's like, okay, you hurt. What now? What? The pain's there. You're just affirming it. How about let's affirm and understand what the pain is actually bringing to life for you that you need to change, the things that you need to evolve, the things you need to grow out from and into. And so those are things you should start affirming to allow the pain to be the messenger, of course. And many people have been really pacifying the pain instead. And it's almost like, coddling the pain, but not really addressing it to heal the pain. Now is the time to confront it. Now is the time to confront the pain and understand where it's coming from emotionally and psychologically. Someone here says, James Porterfield, good to see you, man. James Porterfield, good to welcome aboard. And I was about to call this comment, and I mixed the names up. Aquila Plant says, what about leg and foot issues? Well, if you think about leg and foot issues, I mean, it's mobility. It's mobility. So there's many different aspects when people have leg and foot issues. And for me, if I'm looking at you and reading you specifically, you're probably going around places and maneuvering without thinking. Right. And so your life almost is trying to slow you down. You might be walking too fast places, figuratively speaking, walk into situations that you shouldn't be in, right? And not maneuvering out of situations that you need to maneuver out of. So in your case, the leg and foot issues means that you're moving too quickly and too blindly into circumstances, situations in your life that you need not be in. Okay. Or escaping from situations you need to escape from. And so a lot of these leg issues too are mobilization type issues, like holding you back. And so many people, you're going too fast in life. And so something happens and boom, they're faced to confront, like, I'm going too fast. Like I'm not thinking. I'm just kind of being really impulsive in my approach. And it's funny that the Chariot card in reverse is all about slowing down. So, I mean, very perfect timing on that. Chariot card is all about slowing down. As you can see, this card is like beat up, used and abused. So it's time to slow down. And when you're rushing through life, you're missing the signs. So many people go to psychics and especially, I'm a psychic, so come to me too. But I'm saying in general, am I missing any signs? Can the spirit have any signs for me? And it's like, oh, Lordy, your back pain, your feet pain, your leg pain are signs you're going too fast. Let's keep it simple. And if you're not seeing the everyday signs that's helping to confront the aspects in your life, you're going to miss the spirit signs from spirit. You're going to miss it. You're not going to get the higher dimensionality of signs. You're not going to get those higher frequency information because you're not even able to look at the 3D information that's around you every single day. So take these body ailments and these stresses and emotional deprivations as signs of what you're doing that's creating those ailments and situations and conditions. So again, I always say, energy is going to crystallize into a physical manifestation somehow, some way, the longer it starts to build up. We can carry energy, we can be light with it, we can maneuver on energy and sway our energy in different ways. But if we have an energy that we're kind of being in contempt of, either not looking at it and just letting it build and build and build, at some point that energy is going to become crystallized into a physical manifestation. Now, let's think of it this way. If you guys are carrying a lot of stress and emotional pain and stress and encumbered with so much of that burdensome, cumbersome energy, then every time you make a movement in your life, you're going to do it in that energy. For example, if you're tense and you have like this tense on your shoulders, a lot of people carry that heaviness in their shoulders and their neck, and they carry that. Imagine when you try to work out while you still have that stretch, like, and then you pull something out because your posture is so tense and stressed, you won't allow yourself to fully work out properly, and you pull a muscle because your body's still carrying that stress. And so any type of other movement is going to cause more problems, and it's going to manifest in other ways because of the way you're maneuvering through that stress. So it's very important to understand when you wake up in the morning, it's time to understand what is your body telling you when you wake up in that morning. If you're waking up with tension, where's that tension coming from? And it's time to release that tension before you start that day, because if you start that day with all that tension, you're going to be performing with that tension. And of course, that will manifest and expand into something a lot greater in the body, but also emotionally too. And again, I always say when the body stops, it's telling you to slow down. When the body stops, the body's telling you to stop, period, right? Emotionally and intellectually. And so now it's the time, because I feel like a lot of people this week, especially the last couple of weeks, have been stopped. The body's been stopping them. And the body's saying, well, the spirit is saying, which is why it's stopping the body, it's time to confront those issues that's been lingering. It's time to evaluate now. It's time to look at these things because you're not going to be blinded and allowing yourself to be distracted by keep going. It's not happening, right? So now is that time to confront these things. And when you do, of course, I love that the world card came in this, this position or this reading because really the world card is like fulfillment, coming full circle in this place. The world card in other reads could be about, traveling the world or bringing your voice to the world and all that sense. But in this read, the world card means things coming full circle. Then, once you confront these aspects and ailments and situations that you've been, afraid to confront, then things come full circle for you and you can move forward. You become whole. You feel whole again. And, a lot of times I hear people say that they're afraid of making the change or confronting things because they're uncomfortable or they're afraid of what's going to happen next. And they're afraid of being uncomfortable. And I'm saying, you're uncomfortable now. Let's think of this rationally. What's more comfortable for you to start something new, to alleviate any type of pain or anchors in your life and just, be more uncomfortable about, what's ahead, the unknown, which could be exciting, or just remaining comfortable in circumstances that suck? It's your choice. Do you want to stay uncomfortable in circumstances that suck, or at least open yourself to be uncomfortable for opportunities and expansion? It's your choice. I see many people hold themselves back because of the fear of the unknown. And I didn't even realize this, and the unexpected in the Oracle card here is, you guys should be expecting the unexpected. And to me, expecting the unexpected is more so thinking outside the box. Looking outside the things you never thought you could actually obtain for yourself, or looking outside the box and seeing things that you never thought you could possibly do in your life, or the things that you thought, you possibly could do, but didn't because you didn't have much confidence in it. And now I can start saying, let me make it more rational. Let me make it more logical. Maybe I could accomplish those things. Because I always say confidence is a result of how comfortable you are with something. I say it's like a broken record. The more comfortable you are with something, the more confident you become with it. So if you want to become more comfortable with thinking about the things that you can possibly do, become more comfortable about thinking about how you can achieve those goals that you want to achieve. Be more comfortable of seeing yourself being happy. Being more comfortable with the ideas of being free. And the more you allow yourself to intellectually resonate with being comfortable with those things, you'll be confident in it and you'll make the decisions and choices to take actions that will get you there. You won't just manifest there. I mean, we hear this, there's more bullshit in the spiritual communities. Quantum leap. I'm managing making that quantum leap. Like telling people that somehow your life sucks. Just imagine you're going to go on another timeline. You'll wake up in another timeline. That's not for people, for everyday Joe Schmoes to do those quantum leaps. Quantum leaps happen when you make greater change in your life. Let's talk about real science, shall we? To make a quantum leap in your life, you got to make a great change in your life. By just sitting here in your shit, imagining shit ain't going to create shit. Okay. But to make a greater change, if you're looking and confronting about all the things in your life, you're making greater change within yourself. And if you've been silencing your voice, you're now using your voice. If people have been depriving you, you get rid of people who've been depriving of you, and you make great change, you'll make a quantum leap into a new timeline because you've made the change. All these new attributes, all these new aspects that you've changed now have to render a brand new reality. You don't just get there by imagining so. Like a lot of these stupid idiot spiritual communities are saying with this quantum leap crap. Greater change renders greater results. Let's keep it logical. Let's keep it rational. We're in physical reality. There are laws that are very simplistic and very basic and understandable to, and very easy to understand in a sense. Like gravity, what goes up must come down. Is there any more complexity to that? No. It can be very complex as far as how we can use gravity, but greater change renders greater results. So if you really want to make that quantum leap, then you start making those changes and confronting the things that you've been letting linger around like a stale fart. And I said this morning on LOL. A lot of guys are letting that stale fart linger, and every now and then you spray Febreze, and all you have is a Febreze watered down fart. It ain't changing anything. Still stale, right? So it's time to clear out the air now. Confront those things. And because it is all by your will, my loves. It's all by your will. Everything in your life is your choice. It's all by your will. You being ill is your will. Okay? You being ill is your will. It's the results of your behavior. Why am I sick? Why do I have these illnesses? Well, shall we look back at your behavior? Because your behavior, your past finally caught up with you. That's called karma. That's what karma is. Patterns, unresolved patterns, unresolved lessons. So again, the results of your behavior is what your manifestations are today. Okay? And I love the last card. Change. Change. It's all about change. Ask your guys, those who feel stuck, ask yourself, what have you changed? I urge you guys to go look up the video on my YouTube channel here called Soul Evolution. Yeah. Because it's all about change. And you should be constantly asking yourself when life takes a halt, to ask yourself, what have I actually changed? What have I changed either about myself? What different decisions have I made in my life? What have I really changed? And I think if you start asking your question, this question to you, you might start being hit with the revelation that you haven't changed anything. It's the definition of an insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That is the human condition. The brain gets stuck in processes. It gets stuck in loops. We, as a spirit consciousness, soul consciousness, need to be aware when the brain's in a loop or not. And it's the job of the soul to bring the brain out of those patterns and loops. I see so many people getting stuck in these political loops. But this, Trump this, Kamala this, or Biden this, and this and that, and the conservatives this, and the liberals this. It's like, we all just shut the fuck up with the fucking loops. Where's the change? What's changed? Because everything's being said today is what's been said back in 2015. Everything said back in 2015 was said all the way back in 1982. You know how I know? Because I've been researching the news from 20, 30 years ago. I've been researching talk shows from 20, 30 years ago. I want to see how much our world has evolved. And guess what? Not much. Same talking points, same narratives. Do you guys want to be a continuation of the decline or the plateaus of our species? Or do you want to be a group of those people that evolve from it? The only way you can evolve from it is getting out of your own personal circumstances. And stop allowing the conditional aspects around you be the reasons why you're stuck. Oh, it's because the politics, I'm stressed. Oh, my boss is keeping me down. Oh, the money. Those are all results of your own choices and your own free will. Okay? Your own free will. So, and the bonus card, the bonus 2 cards, is wisdom, right here. Wisdom, you can see, wisdom and hunger. Okay? So I'm going to spin this 2 ways. You guys need to be hungry for the wisdom of self. Be hungry to want to know more. Be hungry to want to learn more about yourself. Be hungry to want to learn more in general about what's around you. Be hungry for that. Okay? And when you acquire the wisdom that you need, you just naturally become hungry for more too. So it's like synonymous with each other, hunger and wisdom. And so this is where you become empowered. You don't stay stuck in circumstances, repeating the loop of excuses, the loop of excuses, the loop of excuses. You don't keep doing that. And one thing I want to say that keeps people in these loops and these boxes are these fake gurus that we have in our communities today. These fake ideologies that we have in our community today that keep people stuck more. One of them is manifestation. All of a sudden now there's some sort of, group of people for the past, 5-6 years saying that you can manifest anything that you want. Just think about it. Your manifestation is coming. It's on the way. Just think. Your manifestation isn't working. Think harder. Try hard, believe harder, vision harder. Oh, you didn't do your 5, 6, 700,000 of affirmations. Keep doing it. It's coming. It's almost there. Fake bullshit that keeps you tuned in. And I follow a lot of these fake gurus, and they're still putting out the same videos about money coming in 2 days, money coming overnight. Same people in same chats. Saying the same things. How's it working for them? It's not working for them because they're still in the same chat saying and affirming, just repeating the same stuff. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. The hell does that mean if you're worthy? I've seen people who are not worthy become rich because of whatever actions they take to get there. I believe I'm abundant. All that fake shit from these fake teachers keeps you stuck because it's allowing you to just be outside and detach from physical reality. Being spiritual is not a detachment from physical reality. Being spiritual is being in physical reality and mastering physical reality. That's what spirituality is. All these quackery bullshit, think ahead, quantum leap, but the structure of the universe, all these things that people want to talk about, they get spiritual enlightenment while they're still stuck in karmic debt. Your soul is deteriorating because it's not growing. They're still in a box. Right? And a lot of these teachings are actually limiting people for confronting the things they need to confront. How do I know this? I used to teach it. That's right. I used to teach manifestation. I wrote a book on it. I still have it up on my website too. I have a few videos back in the day about manifestation. I keep them up there to show people I've evolved. And hopefully even people who are in the manifestation, communities and so forth, maybe will find my video and then they see what I'm talking about now. I've evolved from that. And the reasons why I used to even teach it is because since I was younger, I always followed my desires. I always followed what I wanted. And thankfully, I had parents that supported it. I wanted to do music, they supported it. I wanted to be on TV, they supported it. I wanted to create, my parents supported it. I wanted to follow my spiritual path, my parents supported it at all times. So I was always in my essence, in my element. So things are always happening in my favor. Right? And so as I got older and The Secret came out in 2008, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I'm attracting these things. So then I started trying to practice these things, and every now and then things would happen because I was, always in my element. But when my life started going into a different turn, I started relying on the law of attraction even more. It's like, oh, I'm having struggles, so I'll manifest out of this. Oh, I got to attract out of this. This is a bad circumstance that I'm in. Let me manifest out of this circumstance. I'll attract something else. This is bad. Oof! Did my life even hit even more of a rock bottom during that time? And then I'm realizing, what is going on here? Why is everything else happening? Everything that's happening, I didn't envision. And there's things I never envisioned that happened. So that's when I realized, this isn't the law of attraction. I realized the reason why my life always went and things were manifesting or lining up for me is because I was always in my element. I was always following my soul purpose. I was always following what I loved and what I was interested in and being real with myself. When I started teaching and practicing law of attraction, it went completely downhill. So I had to learn about that, and I'm glad I did because I had to go through that. And I understand there's different parameters. It took you away from your own personal development. Wisdom is where spirituality actually is. The more spiritual you become, the more wise you become, the more wisdom you obtain. By doing affirmations and visualizing what you want and practicing desire is not wise. There's no wisdom behind that. I want something, so I got to think to get it. It all becomes about, getting things and so forth. So it's very important for us to understand that these fake gurus, you can tell I always say with these situations, let cringe be thy guide, because if you feel a little bit of cringe, understand it's bullshit. Your intuition knows, your intuition is going to repel from those things, especially if you have to try or someone's selling you some sort of pipe dream, it's fake bullshit, and don't follow it. And I actually want to go on and look at some titles here to kind of call out and show you the ridiculousness of it. I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but just kind of looking at how baloney and bogus it all is. And spiritual Karens. There's a lot of people who've entered the spiritual communities, and they don't really know much about spirituality. They think spirituality is an escape from their bad life. They think spirituality is because they aren't getting what they want. They dive into spirituality, manifestation, to kind of pacify that they feel like shit. So they come into these spiritual groups very, very fragile. They can't handle curse words. Oh, don't say that. That's low vibration. And you shouldn't be doing that. All this judgmental energy because they don't know what they're doing. And they don't understand that spirituality is about self-evolution. No matter where you're at in your evolution, it's just about evolving. It's not about the language you're saying. It's not about cross jokes that you're making. Matter of fact, the more spiritually enlightened you become, the less of a fragile person that you become. You become more humorous and more comical. Me and there's a lot of others who tap into Yeshua's energy, very comical. Yeshua is playful with everything when you tap into his consciousness. Does not take things seriously. So that was always an indication to me that we're not supposed to be taking things so seriously, and that we could laugh at the things that are going on in our society, because it's not that serious. We are soul beings. This physicality is an extension of soul and spirit. And so when you become more spiritually inclined and advanced, you realize nothing really is that serious. Nothing matters that much other than what you're doing to apply your soul to expand. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, let's be very, very literal about this. When you die and have your death experience, are you going to care about the little words someone said about you? Are you going to care about whether or not you got that house or not, or if your hair was a certain way? Are you going to care if you had your body was out of shape when you die? Is that going to be things you're going to look back and care about? Of course not. So why are you spending all your time this lifetime worrying about these superficial, trivial things? Why? If you're not going to care about that when you die, it's not going to be something you want to take with you. What you want to take with you is the wisdom that you've attained from this lifetime. That's what you're going to want to take with you. And you're not going to want to take with you the fact of, oh, I was afraid of hurting somebody. I was afraid for them judging me. You're not going to take that with you. Okay? So it's time to get ourselves into a broader perspective like that. And these fake gurus just want you to focus on giving them likes and views so you can manifest what you want. Follow me for manifestation tips. My manifestation program. Where does that put you? What does that make you focus on? I'm not doing it right. I can't visualize right. I don't know how to want properly. I want something. I'm just not saying it right. I got to get that thing in my life. And I don't have that thing in my life. So something's wrong with me. I don't have a relationship. There's something wrong with me. I can't get the car. What's wrong with me? I'm saying it. I'm thinking it. Oh, there's something wrong with me. Does that sound spiritual to you? Does that sound like there's some sort of an accumulation of wisdom to you? What does that sound like? It sounds like a materialism. It sounds like mind control to put you stuck in a box. Forgetting who you are as an individual, forgetting who you are as a person. That's the issues here. Yes, and once Oprah endorsed The Secret, I knew, well, the next get-rich-quick scheme. Let's look at a couple things here, shall we? Do something different here. I want to kind of look at some of these, the words here that we see with some of these things. The shocking reason your manifestation isn't coming. It's not working, guys. Your manifestation isn't working, right? Oh, what do I do? The manifestation. Where is it? How do I turn it on? Is there a switch for this? Do this as soon as possible. When manifesting isn't working. Law of attraction. Try this. Look at the sad face here. Manifestation not working. I'm sorry. Is it an engine? Is it a car? Like, what's exactly not working here? What is the mechanics of manifestation not working? Wait to manifest when you're in a spiritual time crunch. When you're in a spiritual time crunch, what is this? So all of a sudden now there's like an express delivery for manifestation? What does that mean? There's another one too. I think I want to look up here too. Some of the key topics that was funny. I thought it was just signs your manifestation is coming. Where's it coming from? Is it some sort of parcel? Please tell me it's coming through UPS because FedEx, they lose my shit. So hopefully that's manifestations come through UPS. Where's it coming from? Where? 5 signs you're manifesting. Look, I mean, do you understand the nonsense behind this crap that people fall into? Oh, she's got charts. She's got books. 10 signs manifestation. It's on its way. Well, if there's signs it's on its way, why don't it just become here? Why is it here? What are we waiting on? You see, because all these things just want you to focus on waiting. There's something else. Bring it to you. Don't do anything. Just wait for it. Right? It's nonsense. And sometimes I want to show you some of these things because, just looking at from a perspective of how stupid it all is, how people are lost in the spiritual communities. And the fact that these law of attraction, secret manifestation stuff has become so, I would say, viral, shows you it's a load of bullshit. When the algorithm pushes that crap and people are getting thousands of views because of how to manifest, it's a load of crock of shit. And so nothing's coming. You are here. It's all here within you. It's not coming from somewhere. That's the thing that I was saying in a post before. Everyone's looking outside of themselves. Oh, I learned about the Fibonacci sequence, parallel realities. I'm spiritually enlightened. Yeah, but how's your karma doing? How's your karmic debt? You paying that off? How's your depression doing? Where are you doing your financial debts? Is that happening for you? Are you making any amends on that? Again, everything to detach to keep you outside of you. And that is a big, I would say, issue within our society, especially when it comes to media, social media. Everything is outside, the extremity, how we look, how we feel, hair this, dress this, skin that, right? No one is talking about the inner work of being the self and self-contained. Who's talking about these things? No one. except those in the spiritual communities who are on track to true spirit, truth, and wisdom, in a sense, you know. But let me just say too before I close this, because what manifestation really is, it's just results of your behavior, results of your action. And when you're in tune to your soul purpose and your soul expression, life becomes magical this way. When you're resolving your karma, you're growing from your karma. When you are seeing things in the way that's really from your true lens, not from societal influences, then life just happens for you. And when you're doing, especially when it comes, if you're starting a business and it's a purpose, a passion of yours, and you feel called to do it, and you're focusing on it in the right way, it just happens. Connections fall into place. Everything does fall into place because that's what synchronicity really is. And everything is already connected, guys. You don't have to track things and manifest things. We're all aligning with things. Big different. You align with an energy, so you experience that energy. You're not bringing it in, pushing it out. You're encoding reality based on what you're perceiving, how you choose to look at life. That's what's happening. And the more you see of yourself, the more you will realize that everything is connected, and you feel the experience of being, I would say, simultaneously connected with the outer world, because it's all in flow. That's what flow really is. When people talk about the flow means that you're so in tune to the self, and you're so in tune to the soul and your intuition, and you're developing in that momentum, then it's a flow because everything is connected, and it's going to feel like everything is happening in your favor because it's what you desire. Your desires and your true purpose are aligned. When things are happening for you that you don't want, that's aligned too. That's what you need, because you're not waking up, you're not confronting things like we said in the beginning. So it's very important to understand these differences and spend a little less time trying to find spiritual gurus. And I'm saying this even though I'm a spiritual guru to a sense. I just feel like I'm a mentor. I feel like my messages will get out to whoever needs it when they need it. I'm not trying to like get all on the algorithm and all that stuff, because I've always been successful doing what I'm doing without trying to get out there. Right? So that's why I don't really care about how I present to people. I'm just speaking my truth and what I've learned. So you like it, you don't, who cares? I know what's worked for me and works for a lot of other people based on studying spirituality my whole life for 42 years and being very curious and inquisitive about psychology since I was 4 and 5. When I was a 5-year-old, I'd witness my grandfather, who I didn't know at the time was abusive to my father. I would witness this, talk to my dad, and I stuck up and said, "You don't talk to my father like that. You make people sick." So at 5 years old, I was standing up to that type of behaviors and watching people behave while they're behaving. And of course, going through my own personal traumas, simultaneous traumas, multiple traumas that I was having. Then I started really to understand how the mind works and how we process and can get out of trauma and get out of things. It's not difficult. I remember seeing a counselor at 16, and at 16, he said I should write a book. At 16, the counselor says, "You should write a book." So it's a journey. This is your journey. Spirituality. Don't listen to these spiritual Karens. "Oh, don't say this. I can't." "Oh, you can't." And someone is not spiritual when they're picking a side when it comes to the political spectrum. Real spiritual people see through the charade and understand these are two selections from the hidden government, shadow government, that you're being played with choice. So you're still stuck in anti-Trump, pro-Trump, anti-Kamala, pro-Kamala, whatever the case is. If you're stuck in that paradigm, you're being misled. You're not perceptive enough to see through that it's a selection for the divide. That's the point. Divide is created. Okay? So for me, spirituality means that, and just like Yeshua's energy, he hung around prostitutes, all these different people, because that's what it is. He was friendly with the walks of life. It's different walks of life for a reason. And so if you're easy offended or triggered, you're not spiritual. You're running away from something and using spirituality as an excuse. So those of you who are living your own journey, living your own evolution and expressing more of yourself, you can tell those Karens to go fuck themselves, okay? And I say this because, sometimes we have to think of the emotional scale on things. I'm going to get to the readings in a minute. We have to think about an emotional scale. The lowest is depression and helplessness. Then it's kind of like, anger, frustration, hope, and it goes up to joy and empowerment. So sometimes if you guys are in a powerless state and there are people around you that are, overcoming and coming at you, sometimes the best thing you can do at that moment is reach from powerlessness to anger and say, fuck off. And then you can evolve in your emotional scale to have more finesse at dealing with those situations. Some people are like, "Oh, he said fuck off. That's not very loving." I said, "What about the person who thinks they're spiritual judging someone? That's not very loving. We can play this game all day if we want to. That's not spirituality." Okay, judgmental isn't spirituality. Having a narrow vision, it's not spirituality. So it's time for some of us to make things uncomfortable for people who are actually stuck in this faux spiritual attitude that is not actually doing anything for anyone or anybody or anything, especially these fake gurus that are preaching wrong information and misleading people into more of a box and a hole, as they just basically want you to manifest your reality by giving them money so they can manifest theirs. That's why they're able to rent those cars, rent those houses, because it's using the money that you paid for their courses to show to you that it's working when it's not. So again, you're here to be strong, and I don't care how you express it. I don't care how you do it. If you're doing it from a place of truth and honesty and love, and you're working on developing a better finesse and how you're doing it, you will succeed more so than these people being, don't say that, you have to be positive and all that crap. They'll fall across, they'll leave spirituality in about a couple of years and go back to their miserable lives, and you'll be able to ascend and evolve in that sense. And I don't care if that's cruel, that's reality. That's the truth. And if people cannot handle the truth, there's something wrong inside there. This is true. I see people go into the spiritual communities. They're not getting this whole encompassment that they're wanting and allowing to manipulate the spiritual communities. Then they go back into their miserable lives and say, oh, that shit doesn't work, and I don't believe in that. While others just stand true in their own firm essence and evolve and do wonderful things in their lives. If that sounds cruel to you, then maybe you should look deep down on yourself, because that's just truth. I see it happen. I've witnessed it. And many people think these things are cruel. Spent 2 years in spirituality, So I want you guys to know the difference. It's time to confront things in your life, okay? And when you do, you're going to find your own power and voice, and you're going to succeed. You're going to accelerate. You're going to rise above things, and you will become unaffected. Because I would say that's the mastery of this reality, is to be objective and unaffected. And that's the mastery of spirituality and physical reality, okay? All right. Nina has a quick message, and I'm going to take a little break while Nina gives a message. And here's a wonderful message from Nina.
What is up, Thursday crew? It is me, Nina. I'm excited to share this channel message and pull for y'all. So when I was tapping in for the energy of today for the Thursday Night Crew Collective, I kept getting this energy and this message of wounds healing. It's about time that the wounds are healing. I kept seeing this imagery of a big cut or a big gash, or kind of like these bloody spots that are starting to scab. And I'm just hearing that it's time that the wounds are healing and clearing, and it is much deserved. But trust in the invisible. Whether that's your own inner strength, your higher self, your power, God, source, universe, your team of light, trust in the invisible to support you with this healing. And don't poke at the scab anymore. Like when there's a scab and it's starting, and then, sometimes like kids or people kind of like start picking at it. Spirit's saying like, don't pick at it. Trust in the invisible, that there's an invisible hand here to help you, and that you are guided and supported in healing yourself and healing these old wounds, because most of them weren't yours to begin with.
Yeah, that's very in alignment to the message too today. Confronting, healing too, because part of confronting is healing, right? And I always say that's also synonymous too. You confront, you heal, right? And so if you heal, you're confronting. So wonderful message, very true on that. Okay, we don't have much like live readings today. There's a lot of people watching, people watching, but people are not doing much reading today, which is fine. That means I can end early, and I did a longer spiel anyways today. So, and perhaps I should be changing my lives to I was thinking maybe I shouldn't do live readings anymore, just change the aspect of my live shows in a sense. So that might be something that might be changing, but let me just, go on to these two, cause I have it's just a few, and then we'll be out of here, which is, hold on, let me just log on here and see. Okeechobee, Artioke. All right, we have from Angel Card Readings by Gabby. She says, I've gotten, and Sydney, I'm going to go to you right after this for Sydney. I've gotten readings that my financial future is taken care of for life. How? Career suggestions. What is the forecast for my relationship? Thank you. So we're going to do two questions. That was 3. I got reasons that my financial future is taken care of. I don't know what that means. Like, your financial future is taken care of. What does that mean? Let me see. I mean, some of these questions. Make sure you guys, when you're doing questions, it's more like to a question, not to requires a whole reading, because some of that question requires like so much depth of a reading. But I kind of answer kind of like career aspects really quickly, and then forecast of your relationship and all that stuff, real quick. Because I mean, I'm kind of like, who says you got your financial future taken care of? I guess what they're saying to you is more the fact is like, you have the ability to create money wherever you're doing, so therefore it's more of like a personality trait they might be kind of acknowledging. So I think that they're saying that, whatever you find yourself, you will find a way to support yourself. I think that's kind of what they're saying, in a sense, to be taken care of. It's not like all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're granted with financial security. It's like, no. I just think that the way you are and the way you've been moving your life, you'll find your way through things. But I think that, you should continue on. And I know you have your angel card readings by Gabby is your name here. So I'm not trying to say yours is your career. But I feel like that you should be diving into that if you're not diving more into, readings and, but I would get out of the card readings. They're actually advising you, like, you should do readings, but find a different modality than cards for some reason. Perhaps because you're relying too much on the cards, or they're just urging you to maybe look outside to a different modality that it's time to upgrade out of the cards. Right? Nothing wrong with the cards, but it's time to upgrade out of the cards. You're saying, so. And I feel like there's going to be like a really fast, evolution on this and a fast momentum moving forward on that. So that's good. But they're saying you're still kind of, it's fine, the in the box, out of the box energy has been coming up a lot the past couple of weeks. But think outside the box at your work. And you should be doing it as spiritual practice. You should be doing some sort of readings in a sense of helping and healing. But they're just saying that you have more of an ability to go outside the box when it comes to reading. Could be either be channeling or getting more mediumistic abilities. They're saying it's time to upgrade that. Okay, especially upgrade the way you're doing it. So that's kind of the first question. What's the forecast for your relationship? I mean. What's the forecast of your relationship? I'm getting there's something here that are you in a relationship? Either not a relationship or this relationship feels like you're not in one, or something sees detachment. I'm getting like a block on this. So, did you misword that question or something? Was the question supposed to be for a future relationship? Let me see why this is coming to me, because I think a lot of that reservation blockage means that somehow there's a detachment here in this relationship where it feels like it's not working, or it's not happening. It doesn't mean it's not going to. Like, there needs to be something that connects it or ties it together. There needs to be something that brings it together. You know what I mean? Because that energy feel like, is it there? Like, why do I feel a disconnection? Is she talking about like something else? And, so the confusion for me in the read is saying to me that, there need to be something in your relationship that brings it together, because it feels separate to me somehow. Yeah, it just feels separate to me. And I think that separation, and I think the initial energy that popped out for me should be an indication of what I'm saying. So my advice would be is there needs to be something that brings us together, and where it's not like a separate aspect. Because I feel like maybe the warning is, if it's not looked at now, maybe something will pull it away, right? Because at first, the message was separate. I'm like, are you in one? I had to question that because that's separate energy, but I understand what they're trying to emphasize to me on it. So make sure you're bringing things together, and it's not just like two individuals in a sense, to the degree where it is kind of, separated, because I feel like this has a potential for it to kind of go like this, if you don't be mindful of that, or stagnant. Because I'm seeing like kind of two paths that's not connecting at times or something, right? So, and that could also be like, things are so good, and like, oh, it's just like, nothing's really happening in our relationship. It just is what it is, and we're getting along, and so I think it's more pay attention to my reaction on that, And I think you'll understand what I mean about like finding ways to bridge this relationship to make it together. That's what I feel the forecast. Otherwise, I feel it kind of politely just merging out, if not. Okay. But I don't know why that separate energy kept coming up, or that like, it's not here, but the future. And so maybe you guys aren't putting so much emphasis on it right now. Maybe you should. There it is. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. That's why I'm like, are you in a relationship? It's like, is this really a relationship? Like, so that makes perfect sense why you said that, because I'm like, is that even real? It's like, because I almost like you were asking, like, am I going to have another lover? I feel like that's what you were asking me. So correct me if I'm wrong, Gabriella, because I feel like you're kind of saying, is there another love for me other than this person I'm with? Because I'm like, are you in a relationship? Because I feel like you're wanting to know about a future relationship, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I was feeling, because this separation or this like, so, and I think that alone is saying to you, though, there is someone better for you. There is someone better for you outside of this. And, it's possible that you might have overlap something on top of this, another relationship, if not already, overlap a relation on top of this marriage. So, but I'm seeing it going like this, like two separate things, So yeah. That's the read on that. So clearly, I feel like there's going to be something where you're going to be, here we go, get out of the box. You're going to be getting out of the box in this relationship. But, I think it's time anyways. And, no, I'm not saying you're cheating, my love. What I'm saying is at some point in the future, like someone else might draw your interest as you're phasing out of your marriage in a sense. I'm not saying about cheating. Otherwise, I'd say an affair. But what I'm saying is I feel like at some point there might be somewhat of interest that attracts brings attraction to you. And you might start going like this with your relationship, and it kind of goes this way, phases out. That's what I'm saying. Somebody else might inspire to realize, I have such a great chemistry with this person, not sexual, just meeting someone or having a great time with somebody that's just completely platonic. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm not getting this in my relationship. So like I'm saying, it might cause this, that's why I keep doing this, this energy, this hand signal, because I feel like it's going to come that way. And I really feel like deep down inside, you're really wanting to know if there's someone else in your future. I really feel like that's what you were asking with that question too. So yeah, they're saying it's stale, and it's at some point, if nothing connects it anymore, then it's going to start diverging outwardly. All right. So put it into your sessions. Think outside the box when it comes to intuitive readings. You should be doing that. If you're not doing that as a career, you should be starting to do so, and take it further outside of the cards. Okay. Again, I'm not saying cards are bad. I'm saying sometimes our own spiritual journeys of evolution, we're supposed to now evolve to different aspects and modalities. There is not one greater than the other. And for those who are watching, I want to make sure I'm clear about that too. Okay. Okay, Sydney, Aaron, we have two for Mrs. Sydney. Sydney Sitton. I know what I did last time. I did a card pull for Sydney by accident instead of answering the question. Okay. Sydney, hi. The ex is pursuing surgical options for chronic pain, neck, spine area. Do you have any insight on the energy of the success of the surgery? We'll love your insight. It's funny, Sydney. Slight improvement. Slight improvement. It's like he's trying to fix something that is caused by his own stress, right? So it's like if, and I'll say this, Sydney, it's like if somebody is sleeping poor and on a bad pillow, and they always have chronic neck pain, and so therefore they're going to get surgery to get it resolved. It's like, what are they actually fixing? Like that's what I'm feeling on this. It's like just how he's carrying his stress. He doesn't, sleep well on it. And he's just like, he's not taking care of his body. It's like, oh, let me have surgery on this. Like, but what's there to really fix? And so they could realign certain things in a sense, but to me, the pain's coming from his own, flopping his body around the wrong way. So he might have mild success, but I feel like he'll have to adjust his behavioral, approach to how he's, handling his body and such, so there to be complete success, So I feel like he'll have the search like, yeah, it's kind of working, but he'll still have to be mindful in a sense. You know what I mean? Because even though you may fix something, you still can't treat your body like shit either, right? When people get knee replacements, that doesn't mean you all of a sudden you can now just bang your knee around and it's okay. You still got to be cautious on the knee. So that's kind of what I read on that. you know, he's not very he's not very bright when it comes to himself. He's not bright when it comes to like self reflection, or he's not very bright when it comes to even just kind of looking at himself. He's not bright in that regard. Well, I mean, my love, he's a mess, right? Clearly my love is so much more major issues than this when it comes to him, right? So it's, again, trying to pacify something and not really fixing the major problem. Can I say something too? Like, yeah, it's a last resort, but my love, he's not doing anything to change anything. Like, he's not doing anything to like make sure he's minding the body. He's not doing anything to make sure he can actually strengthen his body. Go stretch, go hang, do the inversion tables. He's not doing anything. He's like, I have pain, I complain. I have pain, I complain. Ugh, pills this. Like, he doesn't try anything. He tries to pacify everything. That's the freaking problem with him, and it's kind of irritating, and so he doesn't know how to deal with emotional stress. He doesn't know how to purge emotional stress. So he can have all the surgery he wants, all the pain medications he wants. The last resort is not going to be the last resort. The last resort should be the fact that he's not understand how to handle his body, stop throwing his body around, know how to emotionally purge and confront his, his stress, So good luck with that, And I'm saying this because he's not a nice individual, He's not a nice individual. And he's very kind of, he puts his problems on other people's, laps. And I think that's what's irritating me about reading his energy. It's like, making everybody else responsible and making excuses. And everyone else has to kind of be suffered by his own actions around him. You know what I mean? So that's what's pissing me off. And it's fun. It's funny. Like, yeah, I'm pissed at what it means for me and the kids and how it will affect them. Well, it's just to me, it's more of an annoyance with him, and it's just one of those situations. Like, it's like somebody, who, I don't know, like someone who jumped off a cliff and is like, making excuses or dragging it out that they're in pain and almost like they're a victim. But it's like, you jumped off the freaking cliff. Like, what are you complaining about? You did this. You jumped off the cliff. You didn't think that you would have any repercussions, and now you would complain and poor as me. Like, that's him, Good. So my anger is not, coming out of nowhere. Yes, he may not probably been pissed. Yes. Well, it's not, If you want to advise him, because he's your ex, remember, he's your ex. You're co-parenting. You're not helping him individually. You have to understand that, let him figure it out. The only thing you should deal with is how you're parenting with the children. And everything else needs to be separate from that. And tell him that he needs to get therapy. He needs therapy. Tell him, he's like, you can fix your body all you want, but you don't fix this up here. The body's going to keep doing its thing. And like we said in the beginning, rendering bad, results, because of that. Okay, moving on. Gave him enough attention. He's an attention whore, so obviously we gave him enough. Your second question is, experimenting with my energy levels. Recently started using a very clean creatine product. Can you scan me if creatine is the right fit for me? It's giving me more energy, and I've noticed I'm a little crazy. No, get off the creatine. No, it's faux. You don't need it. All because something boosts your energy, my love, doesn't make it good or long-term beneficial, because it's going to fuck with your chemistry. Okay. So, I think that as well, in long term, it might start bloating you, or retaining water if you keep using it. And that's actually what creatine is, actually, especially for men. It makes you retain water. So no, it's like saying, well, you know what? Well, crack gave me an energy boost. Can I keep using it? It's like, no, the energy boost doesn't mean shit. And so, I seriously, I would not do creatine. Be more focused on your iron levels, your zinc levels, B12 levels. Focus on that. Knowing how to really, manage your own stress and energy too. So it's inconsistent because you're focusing on you. It's great. Then you focus on the X and it's doubt. So let's keep it simple. You don't need stimulants, my love. Get out of the stimulants. Okay. But to me, it's like, again, focus on iron, B12, zinc is what they're saying for you. And, you got to stop. Like, I don't know if you're doing caffeine, Sydney, or energy, or not energy drinks, but caffeine or something with caffeine. Like, you got to avoid those things that create the false sense of energy, because then you're going to crash and you're going to have that constant inconsistency of energy. So get out of that. Okay. No bueno. And everybody listening, your caffeinated, fixes, you're going to be up and down all the time. They're reliant upon it. And it's going to cause a lot of, issues with the chemistry in your body, You know what they said? Reishi mushrooms that came to me is Sydney. Maybe look into reishi mushrooms. I don't know what I came to. Yeah, don't stop that. See, so you're drinking the coffee. I don't drink coffee. That's not normal for me. I'm not a coffee person. I don't drink coffee. Never did. Right. So you have the coffee, which is caffeine, and then you have this like creatine for energy. You're doing all these false, faux boosts of energy, which is going to end up being worse. So they're just recommending reishi mushrooms. Yes, that's how you spell it. Nina, thank you for putting in the chat for me. Okay, because if I was sensing there was something depriving you of, like a physical issue depriving you of energy, I would say so, but it's not. It's more of you with the stress management and the faux boosts, faux energy boosts. Okay, Kathleen Prentice. One question card pull for Kate. I've been taking steps to get out of the box with putting out job applications for Ayurveda and yoga in Sri Lanka, Peru, and also pondering staying in Montana and work at the school, but nothing feels right. Any guidance? This is crazy for coconuts, right, Kate or Kathleen? What the question is that crazy for coconuts, as I remember? Oh yeah, my mom will be all about nutritional advice in the chat too. So my mom will tell you guys. My mom's a nutritionist and worked in health and fitness her whole life. I was 6 years old, having to sit in aerobic competitions with my mom and dad while they're competing doing aerobic. I'm like, ugh. And I was watching them do their aerobic videos and stuff. So I was around it my whole life. So, and my mom is still doing it, still successful doing it to this day. 67, I think she's now, Mom. I forgot your age. And teaching yoga, teaching Pilates, still being hardcore. Okay, Kathleen, for job application for Ayurveda, no, none of those feel right to me either. You got to keep searching. I can't tell you what to do. This is too deep of a question for a live show because I have to really sit down and ponder, and work through any type of thing with you as far as what we can gravitate and what resonates with you in this type of process. It's not Ayurveda. I think psychedelics is what you need to look into. Honestly, psychedelics, Kathleen. Okay, so maybe learning psychedelics or understanding maybe some sort of psychedelic treatments and microdosing that has a lot of beneficial effects. I would say looking in that direction. You know what I mean? Administering. That's what they're saying. So maybe it's more about psychedelics and how to administer microdosing with people and learning how to do that. I feel like that kind of be more in what I feel is resonating. Peru is where you can do ayahuasca in Peru. I know that. I think it's Peru. Is it Peru with ayahuasca? I think I forget. But yeah, no, you're pulling things out of the air. Kathleen, you're pulling things out of your behind with these things. I feel like they're saying, hey, look in the direction of psychedelics and kind of administering with microdosing for people to help with other, psychological issues, healings, and all that great stuff. I would say they're saying to kind of go in that direction, point in that direction. Okay, and then last but not least, all right, guys, we're going to shut down reading. So if you want to get a reading in, getting it now, because I'm about to close it down and end the live. So it's up to you if you want. If not, we're going to shut it down. Let me just get to the last one here. And last but not, let me go back. Sorry for this because I love how these websites should be zippier in 2024. They're very slow here. Okay, we have Morris come in. Celeste Baganiski, if I said that right, or we'll say Celeste B. How about that? Hi, I haven't seemed to catch a break this year. My 5 relationship ended and really caused a lot of heartache. I moved in with my aunts to help caretake. They both have cancer, and we just lost one to it. Sorry about that. The past few months have been a lot on my mental well-being. Yes, I feel as though I have completely neglected taking care of myself. I'm trying to find my own place and put myself first again. I just can't seem to find the right place. Budget's playing a big role. It's hard to accept that it's all happening for a reason. Will I have any luck finding my own spot and get my confidence back? One thing I want to say to you, I don't want to pacify you with like, oh, yeah, you're going to find something. But you will, right? But I want you to understand this process right now, my love. Okay? I want you to ask yourself why, and especially I'm scanning the past 5-year relationship, why do you always on the time and the dime of somebody else? Because I feel like your relationship, you were too. It was always on their timing. It was always on, their perspective. It was always what they wanted. It wasn't ever a mutual thing, right? And you're always trying to find ways to maneuver with it and around it, And so I think that that's kind of something you want to ask yourself. And then now you're in a situation of caretaking, but you love them. So here you had a situation where you loved them, but you didn't get in return, and you were always maneuvering around somebody else's time and energy. Now you went to caretake someone you actually do love. And so that's a choice. So I think it's really teaching you and letting you know where do you really want to export or divulge your love to. And to understand what really matters, to where you would have to second question. So, of course, caretaking and helping with your aunts is someone you love. So, of course, you're not going to question that. But then there's other aspects of being in a 5-year relationship where you weren't getting the same in return because it was on their perspective, what they want, their time, and all that stuff. That, you're looking at the big picture and saying, well, I should only be putting energy and emphasis and love into things that really matter for me, the things that I love. And part of that is you. So this process is you're clearing out karma. And remember, karma is not punishment. It's unlearned lessons, and also lessons that we learned that we can evolve and find power through. So that's what this process has been for you. So this is part of your karma. That's why things happen. If people wonder why, and everyone in the living room listen, when people ask why these things keep happening over and over again, I said, because that's karma you're not resolving. You're not learning from the karma, and so they're going to keep coming. And so you want to get out of that. Look at the karma saying, oh, this is what I'm doing. Let me change my perspective on that. Boom. You should go in a different direction. So yeah, you'll find your own spot. And so we get your confidence back. We all do, but I want you to understand this differently. You're asking questions that I think that you need to be asking, formatting differently. Of course, you're going to get what you want. Of course, you're going to find a spot. Yeah. Right. That's the obvious. And of course, as a PayPal, that's an obvious. Or as a psychic, that's an obvious. I've read PayPal. As a psychic, that's an obvious to me. Like, yeah, you're going to get your spot, of course. But I want you to understand how to process this. Because right now, when you say confidence, I said this in the beginning, and everybody remember this, confidence is a result of how comfortable you are with something. So if you're not confident in yourself, you're not comfortable with yourself. Find ways to make, the more comfortable you are with yourself and comfortable you are being with yourself and comfortable with talking to yourself and listening to yourself, then you'll be confident and nothing else will impede that. How do I know? I've been a confident person my whole freaking life because of my previous incarnations. I walked in this earth. And I would say to this, I had challenges. I was entering this earth. I almost died being born. My mom and I lost so much blood. I had a blood transfusion while I was being born. So I incarnated with issues and fight. Then dealt with sexual abuse, suicide ideation, sexual abuse in the church, conversion therapy in the church, all these other aspects. I was like, boom, after another. And so I understood through those processes, I had to really fight and fend for myself because in those circumstances, nobody else was. So I had to learn how to fight for myself and put myself first because no one else was doing that. And so when I did, I learned I was comfortable just being in my own skin and not letting anybody else take the skin from me. So that got me more comfortable about what I feel, what I think, and what I say, and not care what anybody else thinks and says about me because it doesn't matter. Everyone else who I've allowed to have that type of power assaulted me or took from me in a sense, right? That doesn't mean I don't listen to everybody. I listen to people that value, that align with truth and with what I care about, right? So same thing with you. Get comfortable of looking for yourself. Be comfortable with looking out for yourself. Your confidence will be a result of that. And because when you spend the time building and nurturing yourself, you'll be damned. You won't let anybody come in and intrude on that process. And you will be damned if somebody tries to kind of shit on what you've been building. So keep becoming comfortable with yourself. And so yes, you'll find your spot. Yes, you will find that confidence because you'll be comfortable in this process of understanding what's important for you to love. What's important for you to express and divulge love into. Is it that relationship that was only one-sided and with a selfish person was all about them that you had to keep maneuvering around? Or is it people that you have in your life that mean something to you that actually provide love in return that's beneficial? That's why you put in those positions back to back, to understand the dichotomy of such, right? So, yes, that's how. So you needed to understand how to process and insight and perspective on that. So yeah, you'll find your spot, you know? Yeah, probably by October the latest. October-ish. Okay, Celeste? All right, Cassandra Glowa. Cassandra. Hook me up with a random carpool, please, and thanks, Spicy Scott Cruz. Love you too. I love that. Hook me up. All right, let's see what we got here for you, Cassandra. Well, yeah, Susie, I have people in front of you. So Susie is, you're actually next, Susie. Okay. You're next. You're right. I go in order. First come, first serve. So if you put your money in, it doesn't happen instantaneously because there's people who are up before you. All right. Cassandra's one of my top, actually, viewers, I've said, because I remember Cassandra. Okay. I'm shuffling here, Cassandra. I'm shuffling. It's a little sticky. And I didn't read the chat. I don't know if someone said something about the... This is interesting. How do I want to read this? Ace of Wands in reverse. I'll show you. Ace of Wands in reverse. Moon. The moon is in the middle, and the Knight of Wands on the other side. So it's interesting. Let me read this because it can go a couple ways, but let me be more psychic on this. I don't know. They're saying something about practicing astrology. I don't know whether they're getting into this. And this is all about creative energy, but this is also about exposing things too. I think there's a creative endeavor that might pop up where you're actually doing something with astrology, but like revealing secrets or something like that. So I think you're going to get into some sort of creative endeavor when it comes to astrology. I'm going to say that. And revealing something, the truth about something. And maybe that's why, like, you click with me because I'm always like, I'll tell the truth even if it makes you look like crap, or if I look bad, I don't care as long as I'm telling the truth. So you might do something that way. And you might utilize astrology or getting to that somehow, because I kept showing you looking at the charts, and following the charts and figuring things out with the charts. So, and it feels like a new creative endeavor for me as well. I'm going to pull a couple oracles in conjunction too. No, it's not muggy, the room. I'm in the desert. It's never muggy here. I don't admit they were sticky. They were like, they were sticking together, but they're not because of that. Yeah, they have been through it. Not even that old, Stephanie, either. Yeah, see, this is the same thing. So like attraction, purity, right? And then like darkness, right? So you're going to, not only are you going to be revealing something that's truth, but there might be something revealed to you too, my love. Might be something revealed to you. Something that has been maybe kept secret from you will be revealed to you too. I feel like something coming to light, right? I feel like you'll be doing a creative endeavor in astrology and revealing some sort of truth, do a creative process with that. But I also feel like something within your personal life is going to be coming to truth, coming to light. I've been learning something new every day about astrology. Okay, my chart's complicated. Okay, well that makes sense why you do that. You might find some sort of creative endeavor with astrology, my love. That's more future oriented. But I also feel like some sort of truth is going to be coming to you. Something's going to come to light. It's not for me to vocalize it. I'm just here to let you know something that you didn't know is coming to light. So the darkness is coming to light. So I'm thinking you'll be thankful of knowing this information too. So they're both predictive in that sense. So keep doing the astrology. I think you'll be working or doing something with it creatively in the future at some point. So I think that's cool. Okay. Now we're up to Susie. Okay. Oh, card pull for Susie. Okay, same thing. Yeah, it will. It will. But they're definitely saying you'll be doing more with astrology. So that's a good thing. And whatever's revealed to you, it could be something, maybe just even an inspiration of idea could be what's going to be revealed to you that comes to light. So you'll know when it happens, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a good shift for you, a good realization that will change something for you. I just can't say what it is because then it wouldn't be a realization to you. It wouldn't be the moment of you making that realization. You know what I mean? So that's why I really can't. That's why my guys are not showing it to me. They're blocking me from seeing specifically what it is. Because I'm nosy. I'm like, well, what is it? So. Yeah, AC, I hope you passed your exam. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Guys, please don't put psychics in the position of asking if you're going to pass a test or not. Please don't do that. Because these things are predictable. And I have a wonderful, wonderful client, but she had a lot of anxiety. She was in the live chat. That's who AC's talking about. And asking if she's going to pass a test, she's going to pass a test. And it's like, when I'm trying to mentor someone too, because I'm not just a psychic medium, I'm a mentor, and I've been, mentoring her a lot of ways, and she's done has some great changes and successes. But at the same time, like I'm here to mentor, not to like predict if you're going to pass a test, especially when it's not written in the stars. Don't do that to yourselves of asking a psychic if you're going to pass a test that you haven't taken yet. Because even if someone feels you're going to pass a test, maybe it's your second or third time. And I've done it before with her. I saw her having to take a test twice, and she took it twice and did, but it kept asking, and like I don't want to be a bearer of disappointing news when I'm mentoring somebody. So, so hopefully she did, but I feel like either way she's going to be going in her direction either way. Anyway, a lot of people are in situations where they have very heavy relationships, and I'm still shuffling for Susie, are in heavy relationships, and that they need something else to change right away, and they don't allow themselves a process of going through the evolution and journey of starting something new. They're like, I need it now because I gotta get out of this relationship, and so they end up beating themselves up and sabotaging themselves. So don't do that to yourselves, guys. Okay, Susie. You're getting financial cards in reverse here. Oh, but that's a good result. Okay. Let me find something else here. Remember, these are card pulls, guys. I can only go so specific on a card pull. Remember this. So, these aren't sessions. They're just, and I'm sure you guys knew that, but sometimes for certain people, I have to just remind of this. I feel like there's financial issues right now, okay? Or you're about to have some financial issues, and it may kind of turn things upside down, but it's actually a really good thing. So whether it's maybe a legality, I didn't get a justice card, so that would normally mean a lawsuit. I'm just getting the Ace of Pentacles reversed, right? 10 of Pentacles reversed. As you can see here, and then also the Six of Wands in the final position. So I'll just show you the cards here. That I don't just do one card; I do quite more. I give you more for what you're bargaining for your $15. So for me, it's saying like there's some financial issues or something that's turning upside down financially, but in the end, it's going to push you forward. So if it is a legality or if it is some sort of disagreement financially, in the end, it will push you forward, right? So it may seem like that you might lose out on the situation, but you're actually not. You're going to win from that, okay? So I don't know if it could be a legality. I kind of feel like it's possibly a legality. I get half and half energy on that, but it could also just be a financial issue, period, period that is could be legal, but in a sense, but somehow you'll have a push forward with this financial upside downness, I would say. And so the advice is to kind of like really focus on resolution, not being paralyzed in the fact that, maybe things are not doing so well financially, things are upside down. Okay, how this investment went wrong, or whatever the case that you're seeing money as like not rendering what it needs to render. They're saying just keep focusing on the solution. It'll push you forward. It'll work in your favor, actually. So this is temporary. And if you haven't reached this quite yet, it will be temporary. Meaning it's manageable. It just requires your oversight on things. Okay. A lot of reversals though too. Yeah, it might be involving other people, the financial aspect, or maybe family or something. Because Five of Wands reverse seems like there's competing interests. Ace of Swords is a legal card too. So yeah. So if it's legal or financial issues with family or something like that, it will be resolved. There's a decent outcome. I love the Six of Wands. There's always a good outcome for me, meaning that like you benefit from the situation. You can even see the picture. She's like, it's pushing her forward. So yeah, it feels future to me. So I don't know. It doesn't feel very present. It feels more future to be aware of. Okay. So, it could be a monies from a person who's passed on. It could be an inheritance issue. So maybe someone passes on, there's an inheritance issue, and so there's issues struggling with money, but you come ahead. That's why I'm saying it's kind of legality. So the death card to me said it could be from a passing of a loved one or someone, or an inheritance to some degree. So yeah, I think that is, but you'll benefit. So it might look like it's upside down, or people kind of coming out, in a way trying to manipulate things, but then you'll figure it out and you'll get the resolve on it. So, yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Resistance, kind of like trekking through it, So, so yeah, okay. Who's the next culprit? Who's the next victim here? I think we have a few more. Nicole L. I'll just say that, Nicole L. Will my tarot YouTube channel take off? Also, I feel like I'm getting pushed to mediumship. Oh, that's funny because we were just talking about that with Gabby, actually. Love this. So maybe, Nicole, you and Gabby need to connect. You guys should work together on YouTube, actually. Love this. So Nicole says, will my tarot you take off? I feel like I'm getting pushed to mediumship. How do I know I'm moving in the right direction? Thank you so much. I came over here from LOL. You're wonderful. Oh, I love you. I love you. Such awesome energy. Yeah, Nicole and Gabby, do you find each other in your chat? You guys should connect and do something together. Okay. Yes, you should be pushed to mediumship. It's funny because I was seeing maybe tagging up with somebody. Maybe that's and I'm like, because I was seeing, and Gabby came to mind because I was telling her to get outside of the cars and do mediumship too. So that's very parallel with you guys. Guys, connect. Please connect. All right. Do a live together. Do something that way. Talk mediumship. Do this. I'm getting like spirit chills right now. Like total spirit chills. So yeah, I think you guys will help each other, boost each other actually. And interestingly enough, your energy will work very well together. So that's the recommendation. Plus, I told Gabby, Nikki, that she should elevate from cards into mediumship, and you're doing the same thing. Love that connection. And this is how you know you're moving in the right direction. You know you're moving in the right direction. The problem is that you're probably just questioning yourself, love. The fact that you feel like you're being pushed to mediumship, that is the right direction because you're feeling pushed. Anytime you feel that push, you're good. And so yeah, and so I think that this is great. Everything will be good. You should move to mediumship. I think you should be on YouTube too, but brand it differently. Right? We have so many tarot readers, right? Brand it differently. Do something different. Find your shtick. And I think you and Gabby could do something great somehow, right? Or at least inspire each other to do things somehow. And that'd be great support. So I think, yes, absolutely. 100. Good night, Michelle Bell. I love you. I love you. Have a good night. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anything else that I think that they're saying about any of that moving forward? Yeah, I think for sure Gabby will be doing mediumship, and I feel like too, Nikki, you it's not just mediumship for spirit though. I mean, you need to be a channel. Okay, a channel. Okay, Nikki. So meaning that you won't necessarily just be channeling dead people, like in a sense, like spirit people, in that sense, like I do. I also channel intellect and other interdimensional beings too. I channel a lot of other different things as well for myself and for other purposes. But I feel like you might even channel like, spiritual archetypes. I have a friend of that. She channels Mary Magdalene. She's really impressive and amazing. And so you remind me of my friend Krista, actually. And she's spot on. She's spot on, just even with her own reads and stuff. So I think you feel similar to her energy too, that you might be finding an entity that you channel too. So yeah, you're going the right direction for sure. For sure. Yeah. Okay, Rhonda. Question: should my current posture be patience? Slow and steady was a race, or let's go? Thanks, Scott. Feels like the patience is somewhat forced in some days. Oh my God, yes. I was going to say that automatic writing. Yeah, that's as a channel, Nikki, automatic writing is what I do too. So that's hand in hand for sure. 100%. 100%. Yes. I do automatic writing all the time. I've gotten automatic writing with, on paper where I'm just like writing and it's like, it'd be a different language and I look it up. It means phrases of things, so absolutely. You'll have an entity that you'll connect with too. Yeah. Okay. So Rhonda, should your posture be patience? Honestly, Rhonda, no. I think that, here's the thing. You've been patient because of other people, right? You're patient because of people around you. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to wait for them, or I don't want to like make them uncomfortable. So I'm just going to wait for them to do this and I'll do that. So fuck that. Okay. No, go forward with your life. You need to go because I think you've been too patient. I think you've been patient to a fault, especially because of other people around you. They're saying no. And I think that's why sometimes it feels forced, my love, because if you're being patient for other people and other people around you, then yeah, you're going to force it because part of it is like, I just want to go and do my thing already. I want to tackle what I want to tackle in my life, right? And so this is what you want to be doing. You want to tackle what you want to tackle in your life and stop being patient because of people around you, work people or people, whoever the people that are around you that you're trying to appease, yet you're trying to pull away from that. That's why it's becoming difficult. And being more patient with your own processes. That's the difference. You're being too patient with fucking people. You don't have to be patient with people in a sense, or people that don't matter, or people that it's just you're not responsible for. Even people you love, you're not responsible for. So you don't have to be patient with what they're doing or not doing. It's not up to you to put your life on pause for other people, no matter who it is. And so in a sense, I want you to understand like patience differently. Get out of being patient because you're holding yourself on pause because of other people. And I want you to press play on your own life and go forward and be patient with your own process. All right. That's the question. And if you feel like you're forcing patience, understand who are the people that are contributing to that. Right. So that's what I would focus on. Word. Okay. We have a few more. And guys, if you want a question and get in now, because I'm about to close it. I was leaving it open because more people are putting it in. And so we have Heather Rice, random card to pull. I have to say, I need to pull this card out because that was like waiting for you, by the way. It's a star card. Sorry, I'm using I'm going to go back to my traditional deck. I just love my 80s retro card. My retro deck, because I was so used to the Rider deck cards, and it's like the pictures are so obvious. These aren't so obvious, so it helped me to learn more of cards I wasn't so familiar with. So, but I'm gonna go back to my Rider deck. So when I show up for the live, it's funny. Sometimes I pull, and then sometimes, sometimes my guides are like, "Pull that, take the card out there." Okay, this is kind of a long one, Heather, but I mean long in a sense of Okay, what is it saying here? You're beside yourself. You're part of you Heather. Part of you wants to be out of the box and unconforming and unorthodox about things. Another part of you is being overly too regimented and strict. Two of Wands here, right? You're kind of caught between two things, and to me that reads as yourself, the Emperor, right? Versus on the other side, the Star card. You're caught between tradition versus what you truly feel, right? And so I think right now that you really want to start looking at ways to stand up for what you believe is true for yourself and stop going through the regimens of the Emperor is also kind of like legal. It's a dictator energy, right? And so if you're kind of in between this dictator energy and this kind of tug of war between the dictator energy and yourself, then it's time to start putting yourself first. Right. The Moon card is all about secrets being revealed too. Like, so things will come to light. So, if there is a struggle between two things, somehow the truth will be revealed on this. And here's another the struggle. Two of Swords feels like a struggle with something, right? And so I think that again, you got to start focusing on what you believe is true for yourself, and not what the dictator energy is saying or the opposing energy is saying. You're caught between the two. And I also feel like the truth will come to light on whatever this is. And it feels like it's you, like it's the two parts of you, but also a circumstance too, right? And the Hierophant too is like, this is for a greater purpose, right? So this is very kind of what you need. It's like, this has to happen. So it feels necessary. So, but I feel like whatever this tug of war is, or this like this splitting of between these two aspects of the dictator energy, it's a very, a dictator card. Could be also legal. And the Star card, like I was saying before here. You know what I mean? That's you. This is the circumstance that you're in between, right? I think once you stand up for yourself in a sense, or really, I hate to sound cliche about this, but use your own voice, then I feel like that's going to be something that's going to let you snap out, or at least win the tug of war and it come into your favor, right? Come into your side. You know what I mean? That's what I feel about that. And then what's next here? Yeah, so there's fear around this. There's fear around the circumstance here. There's fear there. And they're just saying use your discernment. Like, you have to practice your discernment. So it's again about like the truth, speaking your truth again about the situation. So it pulls in your favor in a sense. It feels, again, personal split, circumstantial split. It feels the same. Okay. What's hilarious? Oh, my dad. Oh, Scott, the baddest ex. Oh, no, here. I may lose custody of my daughter for speaking up about abuse. Any advice from guides, angels? Oh, what you just said. That makes sense. The two sides. It's using your voice. So that makes perfect sense then, Nicole. Okay. So use your discernment on this. Don't let the fear make you make decisions that goes against the truth. Right? So I don't think you lose custody for speaking about abuse, but like, that's interesting that the Moon card came too about the truth will be revealed, right? So that'll come to life, come to surface. So understand, like, all because things haven't come to surface yet doesn't mean that they won't. And you got to stand up for what is true, because in the end, it will come in your favor. The truth will always be revealed. Someone has to be a voice for it. So continue to be a voice for it. So that makes perfect sense why the cards pulled the way they did. Perfect. In that struggle. So, but I think you're being too, I get the threat of that you may lose, but I don't feel like it's like that full force of a direction that you will. The dictator energy won't be successful. Okay. They're not going to be successful. The dictator energy. And that's why you have to use your power of discernment, use the power of your own voice, because truth always prevails, and also, spirit always wins. But we just have to be able to be consistent and determined to do so. Okay, all right. Well, let me just make sure I got all the reads done. Oops, sorry about that. Whoops, look at that. That's for Chris Reck. Chris Reck will actually be on the end of the month. We're aiming for Chris Reck and I to do our tag team every last Thursday of the month. So I saw him this morning. I forgot to ask him, but we said yes the last time. So you can check us out the end of the month with that. And so you guys remember, the circumstances that you're in that you have to confront. And I think it's the same thing with you, Nicole, that you got to confront these things. You know what I'm saying? You got to confront these things. And the same thing, you might be bad at all that, but you're going to be good at all this. You'll be good at all this. This is a test for you to become good at this, because right now the power lies within your hands, if you want to think about it, when it comes to protecting your daughter, if the abuse actually was, just true. And so you have to check up on that. So that's the power within you. It's showing the power that you have. So yes, you need to. I love how the purple mic brightly illuminated as beginner. Oh, did it really? I didn't notice that. That's interesting. I have to probably look back and see that, see what that did. But yeah, guys. And so, and like I was saying before, Nicole, like now's the time, like we're saying the collective reading in the beginning, to really focus on confronting. Get comfortable with your ideas about confronting things. Okay, get comfortable. First, get in your mind and be comfortable with the idea of doing so. Map it out a few times. Walk through it in your head a few times. Get comfortable with the idea, because when you need to do it, you'll do it comfortably with confidence. And for a lot of you guys, today, it wasn't to say, but in this week, during this Virgo season, it is time to confront. And the only thing that can benefit from confronting things is more truth, more awareness, And so y'all have the ability to do so. You guys shortchange yourself so much on your power. Just think, if you guys can endure all the pain, then you have the strength to get out of it and not experience the pain. Just think of how much strength you're using to endure pain all the time. That's strong. It's like walking down with weights in your back. It's like, you're carrying it so much you don't have to. Like, you can take the weights off your back and say, hey, it took me strength just to release it. Really? It didn't actually. Releasing is the easy part. Carrying the burdens, carrying the strength, carrying the pain, deal with the pain, that's the hard part. Deciding to release it and move forward and confront things is the easy part. It's a boldness. A lot of guys are not comfortable about being bold or confronting. I'm saying, but get comfortable intellectually with it first, and you'll have the confidence to do it. Okay? We all have that power, guys. We're living in physical 3D Earth world. Okay, we didn't incarnate here because we're newbies here. We didn't incarnate here because we're so scared of things. We didn't incarnate here because we can't manage. We incarnated here because we knew we could handle it. All because you're challenged with that doesn't mean that you don't have the power to deal with it. Because I say, in order to be a master, you have to be in the process of mastering. So all because you guys you're mastering things right now doesn't mean you're not doing the right things. You're in the process of mastering. Okay, and so. Take a step back and look at the things you've endured and understand that moving forward and confronting and releasing yourself free of the burdens and bondages of the past and getting out of the box is actually the light way of doing things, the easy way of going about doing things. Okay, guys? So it's a wonderful to see you guys this week. If you haven't saw Leading Out Loud this morning, check it out. We did our episode this morning on Leading Out Loud. And so catch the replay if you haven't watched that yet. And we'll see you next Thursday on Leading Out Loud. And also here, any suggestions on topics, let me know. I just posted a few videos. Go check out my YouTube page here. I just posted a funny video about the pseudo spirit science. And, and I will be posting down this live down. I'd like to take parts of my live and chop it down to clips for those after the session, so you can catch the live reads or discussions in a more shorter format. I like to do that after the lives too, so catch there. And I appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll see you next week. Remember, you're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love. And those of you who want to book a personal session with me, scottcruzpm.com. The link is in the description below. And we'll close with a commercial today. How about that? Good night, everybody.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.
Kevin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table. No, you said like something in your end table that you this too.
My God, you're crazy, girl.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that make
always
sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some MagnaWave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And it's if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come on here and talk bull and repeat. I'm living this stuff.